Hey guys, so I know everyone's talking about Paldea Evolved, they're talking about Twilight Masquerade up here, and obviously the newest set, Surging Sparks. People are getting really hyped and, focusing a lot more on Scarlet and Violet these days than they did in the past, I'd say 6 months or whatever. And in this video, I just want to talk about Sword and Shield because I think Sword and Shield is being forgotten a little bit. And obviously, Surging Sparks is going to be a great set, so it's understandable why people want to invest in this. Twilight Masquerade is doing well. Paldea evolved down a little bit, but still a decent set, so people are going to want to get into that. But in this video, we will talk about Sword and Shield mainly because I do think a lot of these sets are going under the radar now. At least over the past 6 months, people are kind of forgetting about them, and there's still some decent plays to be made out there, I think. But some of these sets aren't moving too much. We won't talk about them a lot. So base set, nothing too crazy, up 2.8%, whatever. Rebel Clash, not too much. Darkness Ablaze down a little bit, but sitting around $150. Vivid Voltage, same thing. It's going up a bit, but nothing too crazy to get excited about there. Battle styles is where things start to get interesting, right? So if we look at the 1 year chart, you're up 30.5%. It's basically flat on the month, but this is still available at the Pokemon Center, and we'll get into that shortly in a bit. Chilling Reign up 6.66% on the month, sitting around $230 now, right? So it's reached this point a couple times, I believe, around 230 bucks way back in June, and it fell off a bit, obviously, in the summer, but we're back to around that $230 mark, right? So 1 year chart up about 50%, and we're going to see if this can start climbing into that 250, 260 range. But Chilling Reign, great set. I put it as probably one of the top sets in Sword and Shield, potentially number 2 behind Evolving Skies. And speaking of Evolving Skies, up 22.7% on the month, guys. Evolving Skies is absolutely going under the radar of a lot of people right now. This thing was about $700 a box a month ago. Now about $800, $850, right, for Evolving Skies. And we'll talk about this shortly as well. Fusion Strike up 10.22% on the month, sitting around $230. Again, Fusion hit around 230. Yeah, it was between 230 and 220 for most of this year, actually. Between March and end of August, dipped a bit. We're back around that 230 mark again. Obviously, Fusion Strike went out of stock. People started rating a lot higher than it was, at least in my opinion. It's still a really good set. I don't put it as number 2 in Sword and Shield. I know a lot of people do, but Fusion obviously taking off. Brilliant Stars up 3.7%, sitting around that 190 mark. I actually have a ton of Brilliant Stars, so this is a good sign for me. It's slowly moving up. Will it break through $200 by the end of the year? I wouldn't be surprised if it does. I do think at its apex, we saw a couple boxes selling over 200 bucks, but by the end of the year, I do imagine this will be over $200. Astral Radiance up 8.5% on the month, getting into that 180 range again. It's been moving back and forth again. Once all the Sword and Shield took off in March, April, around that time, again, same thing. This box took off, and we're seeing it hit its all-time highs again. Lost Origin up 8.3%, more of the same, to 235 in that range. And then Silver Tempest still in stock on the Pokemon Center, sitting around $165. Now, before I go any further and talk about what I want you guys to do or think about, at least moving into the last couple months of the year and into the new year, I do want to just bring up that 71% of you guys watching these videos in the past month aren't subscribed to the channel. So if you're getting value out of any of this content, I'd really appreciate it if you could subscribe to the channel. And obviously, if you like the videos, leave a like as well. That's awesome. But talking about what we can do with Sword and Shield, right? I know a lot of people are focused on Scarlet and Violet. Surging Sparks, if we go back and look at this, 165 USD a box on TCG Player right now, guys. So, if you can find a decent deal on this, sure, get in. I think Surging Sparks is going to be a really strong set, so it makes sense to do that. If you got in a month ago, congratulations. You'd be really happy with yourself at this point. But finding Sword and Shield now is just very difficult, right? So I'm on Hobbiesville right now. There's almost nothing available, when you're looking at Sword and Shield. They have Astral Radiance. They have 4 cases available on their website right now, 250 Canadian a box, and then they have a case of Evolving Skies. Now, I actually thought about just buying this case, as ridiculous as that seems. $7,200 for a case of Evolving Skies, Canadian, obviously, right now. Just based on where Evolving Skies is going to be in a couple of years, sure. I mean, maybe I do it, maybe I don't. But if you want to get a case of Evolving Skies, this is probably the place to buy it in Canada. Or you just, buy individual boxes on eBay. I don't know if you're going to get a better price than that now. And then when you look at the Pokemon Center, still some things in stock, right? You have Silver Tempest. Silver Tempest is limited, however, to I believe 4 boxes. So if you're gonna buy Silver Tempest, you're running the risk of the boxes showing up in bad condition. If you want a good idea of what that looks like, I actually made a video because I did buy a couple boxes of Silver Tempest from the Pokemon Center, and the wrapping on them was really bad. There was a couple rips in certain places, but Silver Tempest could still be an option for you. Vivid Voltage, not limited, I don't believe, if you want to get it. Battle Styles, 187 Canadian, so whatever the US equivalent would be on the website. You can still buy a case of this if you want. It's not limited, so you could pick up a case of Battle Styles for MSRP right now. And the only reason that Battle Styles, in my opinion, hasn't gone higher than 135 is because it's still in stock on the Pokemon Center. So if you can find Battle Styles on a website like Hobbiesville or US equivalent or wherever you are in the world, and you can get it under MSRP, I think that's still a decent play. Once this goes out of set on the Pokemon Center, we did see it go out, or out of stock rather. We did see it go out. It hit that 140 mark, came back in, and it really hasn't done much since then, right? But once it goes back out of stock, we're going to see this move. So you have some options going into Christmas, the holidays, into the new year, what you want to do when it comes to investing. If you want to just load up on Surging Sparks, Twilight Masquerade, Paldea, all of these new Scarlet and Violet sets, awesome. I'd say go for it. I mean, I don't think that's going to be a bad play. But what I did last year, I, loaded up on Chilling Reign. I loaded up on Lost Origin even, before it went out. I could see the writing on the wall. I kind of almost over leveraged to a certain point, bought a few extra cases of these. I have actually moved one case of this. I sold it for over 300 Canadian a box, and I've sold a couple as well over 300 Canadian just in personal sales. So I was happy to do that, kind of a quick flip on that, but I'm saving 5 cases of this. And I'm not selling any of these at this point. My Lost Origin, my Brilliant Stars, my Fusion Strike. I have a couple boxes that I want to move of Fusion Strike just because they have some damage to the boxes. But, the cases I bought for investment purposes, I'm not touching at all. So, I have my 3 or 4 cases of Fusion, not touching, 5 cases of Lost Origin. Brilliant, I think I have like 9 cases actually. I have some Astral, some Silver. Like, I'm not going to be selling any of these anytime soon, guys, just because I think a lot of these boxes are going to be $300, $400, $500, $600 in the next couple of years. Evolving Skies, I wouldn't be surprised if it's $2,000 in the next 5 years. So a lot of these sets, right? Like as everyone's focusing on Scarlet and Violet, and I know a lot of people back in March and April, they said, this is the last call for Sword and Shield, last call, get in now, blah, 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 before boxes explode. Like, you've had 6 months to still get these boxes in this 2 to 230 range. I don't think that's going to last much longer. And if you look at the last month, Evolving Skies, if you want to get it at $700, that's not going to happen anymore. This is an $850 box. I said this box wasn't going to be $1,000 by the end of the year, but at the rate it's going, I wouldn't be surprised if it hits $1,000. Same thing, with Chilling Reign. Keep an eye on this box. This thing could move towards 250 before we know it. Fusion Strike, same thing. This could be $200, $275, 250, 275. Lost Origin, same thing, right? A lot of these boxes are pretty close to each other when it comes to value and how collectors view them, whether they're 2, 3, 4 in Sword and Shield. So a lot of these sets could be 250, 275, maybe even $300 in the next few months. So if you can find good deals on these, I would still recommend considering them, especially if you don't have a lot of these, boxes in your inventory or your investment portfolio. So you can look at those. Same thing, just find boxes or tins or whatever at MSRP. Fusion Strike, and I know there's not a lot of Fusion Strike in this, but 2 Evolving Skies in these Divergent Power tins. There's Astral Radiance, I believe, and B-Stars. I remember buying these out on the Pokemon Center last year for like 36 Canadian, 36.50 shipped, and that was after tax and everything. And I know a lot of people don't like tins. They say they're going to be hard to sell. They take up a lot of space. And I agree on the space aspect of them. But guys, I bought these for $36. The lowest you can find on eBay right now is 65 Canadian. And that's, Dolly's Cards. They have like 9 boxes available. And then it jumps up to $70 plus shipping at that point. So you're paying $80 for a Divergent Powers tin. Insane. These have basically doubled in the past year. So if you have a Walmart in the States that still has, I believe it's the Empoleon tins or the Tyranitar tins, If you can figure out if those have evolving skies in them, probably worth still finding those. If obviously if you have coupons or there's deals, clearance, whatever, even if they have the chilling rain in them, or did they come with B stars? I think at some point, like if you can find those, if you can find Hisuian, Zoroark, V Star collections, or whatever they are, like all these products with evolving skies, if you can get them still at MSRP in stores, I mean, I just think it's a no-brainer play, right? These sets are just super strong. They're going to last a long time. People are going to want to open this in the future. And yeah, I mean, obviously, keep looking to the future. Be excited about Surging Sparks. Be excited about Prismatic. Obviously, we're already, loving Twilight Masquerade. And I say we as like the market is loving it. Paldea Evolved is going to do well long term as well. But, as we move into Scarlet and Violet, we get deeper into it. Just don't forget about Evolving Skies. Don't forget about Fusion, Brilliant, Chilling, all of these sets, because the same thing that happened to Sun and Moon when those booster boxes exploded from $300 to $600, $700, $800 a box, same thing's going to happen to Sword and Shield eventually. So if you can't find good deals on Scarlet and Violet, or you want to just stockpile a few more boxes of these older sets, definitely it might be a good play to do. So with that said, you guys let me know in the comments down below if you're going to be buying some more Sword and Shield. I think if I can find a decent deal on Evolving Skies, I might actually pick up a couple more boxes. I might even get the case, honestly, from Hobbiesville, because I can't find boxes at all, basically, in Canada other than buying on eBay. And at that point, you can't even find a case. You're just picking up individual boxes. So I might do it. I might not. We'll see. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you like this video, if you could subscribe to the channel, I'd really appreciate it. Leave a like on the video. And if you're doing any shopping on sites like Hobbiesville or on eBay, I have affiliate links down below. It's at no extra cost to you, so it helps out the channel. Really easy way to support me and what I'm doing. Thank you so much for watching. Stay safe wherever you are in the world, and I'll catch you in the next one.